All right, let's be real for a second. Do you ever feel like you're just throwing content out there, just hoping something, anything will stick? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. But today, we're going to change all that. We are moving away from guesswork and into a proven formula that builds real, actual confidence. So let's dive in. So this number, 5%, this is the reality for most creators. It's the chance of actually finding real success online. That's basically like playing the lottery, knowing that 95% of the tickets are losers. It's a really tough game to play. But what if I told you there's a way to rig that game completely in your favor? I mean, just imagine it. What if you could stop flipping that coin every time you post? What if you could create content knowing, with almost certainty, that it's going to work? That's what we're talking about today. We're building a system that gives you that unbreakable confidence. So how do we actually build this kind of confidence? Well, it's not about being the most creative person or just getting lucky. Nope. It's about having a system. Think of it like baking a cake, right? If you follow the recipe, you're gonna get a delicious cake. System. The exact same principle applies here. And just look at the difference in energy here. On the left, you've got guessing. That's the frustration zone. It's where you feel inconsistent, and honestly, it's just exhausting. But on the right, that's knowing. That's where you're riding a wave of momentum, all because you have a system you can count on. And this right here, this is the entire goal, to get so dialed in that success stops being a lucky accident and becomes a predictable outcome. That is where real, unshakable confidence comes from. Okay, so I don't want you to think this is all just theory. I've lived this, so I'm gonna pull back the curtain on one of my own TikTok accounts and show you the exact post, the one video that completely changed the game for me. I mean, just look at these numbers. It's insane. 1.7 million views from a single TikTok. That wasn't just a viral video. It was the video that built the entire account. Seriously, this one post brought in most of my followers, most of my likes. It's proof that one right move can change everything. So you're probably asking, okay, how'd you do it? Well, it was a 3-part plan. First, I broke the story down into parts like a mini-series to keep people coming back. Second, I went into absolute beast mode and posted a new part every 45 minutes for 2 straight days. Yeah, I didn't sleep. And third, when one part took off, I studied it like a hawk to figure out why. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. I tried to do the exact same thing again. Same format, same style, another horror story. And the result? A total flop. We're talking 4,500 views. This is the ultimate proof that it's not about one single trick. It's about the whole system and knowing exactly what your audience wants from you. And this brings us to a huge concept I call audience conditioning. See, my audience got used to one thing: animated horror stories. So when I tried to switch it up and post about affiliate marketing, they were just confused. Imagine your favorite pizza place suddenly only selling sushi. You'd be like, what's going on? That's what I did to my audience, and my reach just tanked. Okay, enough about my experiments. Let's look at how these rules apply to someone who is an absolute master at this stuff. We're gonna put a top marketer, Beverly Samuel, under the microscope and really deconstruct what makes her Instagram page so successful. Right off the bat, her profile is just a masterclass. But the most powerful part? Look at this line. 6 figures from my phone. Boom. In just 5 words, she tells you what she does and what you could do too. That is crystal clear, benefit-driven positioning. It's perfect. Now, check out this hook from one of her best videos. Just $50 an hour. It's pure genius because it's not a crazy, unbelievable number. It's relatable. It feels achievable. And that makes you stop scrolling and think, wait a minute, I could do that? It's the perfect bait. And what's the payoff for that perfectly relatable hook? Bam, 17,000 likes. That is the power of understanding the psychology of your audience. A simple, believable promise leads to a massive result. And that's a formula you can absolutely use. This chart tells the whole story. Remember that audience conditioning thing? This is it in action. Look, when she posts about side hustles, the engagement is through the roof. But when she posts general motivational stuff, crickets. Her audience has been trained to want one specific thing from her. So let's just break down the psychology really quick. Putting text at the top of the screen grabs attention immediately. Framing income as an hourly rate feels way more real than a big weekly number. And here's a huge tip. Don't call people out. Instead of saying, but you keep scrolling, empower them. It's a small shift in tone that makes a world of difference. Okay, We have analyzed the data, we've looked at the pros. Now, it is your turn to take action. I have a challenge for you, something you can start literally right now, and I promise it's going to change how you think about creating content forever. So, here is your mission. I want you to go on Instagram and find 3 of your top competitors. You're going to become a content detective, analyze their winning posts. What hooks are they using? What formats? What styles? And then, you're going to steal their secrets like an artist. Now, this is the key. You're not just trying to be a copycat here. Your job is to find that perfect sweet spot between what's proven to work in your niche and what you are actually comfortable creating over and over again. Because if you hate doing it, you're going to burn out. That's the secret to sustainability. So let this be your new mantra. Study what's already working, see the patterns, then pick a style that you can repeat. That is how you stop gambling with that 5% chance and start creating with near 100% confidence. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. After you do your research, what is the #1 pattern you see that you can start testing today? Is it a new hook, a different video style? Whatever it is, I want you to go find it and try it. That's how you'll discover your own winning formula.
Yeah, hustle bear in the building. Adrenaline truth, this that run up the hill grind. Pressure make diamonds, I've been cutting through the steel line. Dreams don't chase you, better get it while the will grind. Legacy's a blueprint I've been building on the real time. If fear's in the room, I'm the one to make it goes quick. Faith in my chest, watch me load it like a full clip. Haters catch the wave or get washed in emotion. Action over doubt, that's the hustle bear doctrine. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed. I woke up with a mission like the rent due on my oxygen. Purpose in my pocket, every loss became a document. I'm calibrated differently, my hustle got a doctorate. Turn my fears to employees, got them working on my confidence. Life hit me with storms, but I learned how to monetize the rain. Pain became a passport, now I travel through the strain. People love excuses, cause excuses never change. But action pay the bills, that's the truth inside the game. Had to cut some ties, their weight don't climb. If your circle ain't moving, then you running out of time. I ain't waiting on a sign, I was born to be a beacon. Hunger ain't a mindset, it's a language I speak in. Every day is overtime, I ain't got no halftime. Walking with a lion heart, built it from the bad times. Legacy's a contract, God signed the bottom. Now I hustle like the devil, never wanted me to blossom. I done fought my own shadows, had to box with my doubts. Took the quiet route to freedom, now my voice too loud. You can measure a man's truth by the storms he survives. I took every closed door as a gem for my mind. Pressure got a flavor, I've been learning how to taste it. Fear is just a wire that your courage gotta break with. This grind ain't pretty, it's sweat, grit, pavement. But comfort is a prison and dreams don't do arrangements. I came from the trenches of excuses and delay. Now discipline the engine, keep me pushing through the day. I ain't working for the moment, I'm investing in a name. When your legacy the mission, every step becomes a flame. People talk potential like it's somehow gonna save them, but potential's just a debt, action's how you gotta pay it. Success ain't in the future, it's a choice in the now. And if you waiting on approval, you ain't ready for the crown. I've been running through the pain like a treadmill on fire. See the ashes of my doubts, that's the proof I'm getting higher. Every no became a hammer, built a kingdom out of trials. Faith drove the steering wheel while hustle held the tires. Ain't no elevator up, just the stairs of intention. Gotta climb with conviction, every step is a lesson. The grind is a mirror, what you see is a reflection. If you lazy with your actions, you gon' struggle with direction. Had nights where I cried, but the tears paid dues. Had fights with my pride, but the growth came through. Every scar got a purpose, every bruise got a clue. If you scared of the fall, you ain't ready for the view. I'm a soldier for the dream, that's the oath that I keep. Motivation ain't a moment, it's a promise you repeat. If you walking with excuses, you ain't walking with me. And if you want another level, you should hustle like a beast. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed.
Yesterday we talked about being scattered. Today we talk about something that usually comes right after clarity shows up. Fear of being seen. Not the loud kind. Not the stage fright kind. The quiet kind that sounds like, I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to come off fake. Because once you stop hiding behind busy work, once you choose a lane, now, there's nowhere left to disappear. And here's the part nobody prepares you for. Visibility isn't hard because you don't know what to say. It's hard because it forces you to be honest in public. Most people don't struggle with content. They struggle with self-permission. They think visibility means having all the answers, sounding polished, looking confident every time. So they wait. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until their story sounds impressive enough. They wait until they think they've earned the right to speak. But confidence doesn't come before visibility. It comes because of it. And feeling fake usually comes from one thing: trying to speak like someone you're not. Trying to match a tone that doesn't fit you. Trying to teach from a level you haven't reached yet. Trying to sound successful instead of sounding real. Here's the reframe that changes everything. You don't have to be the expert. You just have to be one step ahead of honesty. The moment you stop trying to impress, you stop feeling fake. Because authenticity isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. You don't need a script. You need a perspective. You don't need to teach the whole roadmap. You just need to share what today taught you. That's visibility with integrity. And the truth is, people aren't looking for flawless leaders. They're looking for mirrors. They want to see themselves in you. They want to hear the thoughts they've been afraid to say out loud. They want to know they're not the only ones figuring it out as they go. Being seen doesn't mean shouting. Sometimes it's just speaking clearly. Sometimes it's a post that says, "This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm learning. This is where I'm stuck and why I'm not quitting." That kind of visibility builds trust, not hype, not pressure. Trust. So today isn't about posting everywhere. It's about showing up as yourself somewhere. One platform, one message, one honest moment. Because when you stop performing, people start listening. Tomorrow, we talk about connection, not followers, not likes. Real connection, the kind that turns attention into momentum. But today, day 2, is about giving yourself permission to be seen without becoming someone you're not. And that's where real visibility begins.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no Serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 41, day 2, and we are right at 17 minutes into today's challenge. So, once again, as usual, I'm very excited. I'm very excited because today is Tuesday. Today is what we call Training Day Tuesday. So the intro gave you a lot of valuable information. It was a great training session that was held there by one of my favorite business partners, the AI. Now, I always tell you guys, the AI, he or she, whichever one decides to, do the video for the day, they are pretty consistent. And the value that AI technology as a whole is bringing to the industry is priceless. Every single day I find something new and exciting. Sometimes I go back to tools that I currently use on a daily basis and I find something that I didn't notice or realize it was capable of yesterday. Now, today, I'm not going to keep you guys that long today because we have an exclusive training a little later on today, and that's being held by one of my favorite business partners, Mr. Wayne Crow. So let me actually, get right to pulling up that information. Now, I'm taking my time learning the new website, right? Learning all of the information, where to find different things, how to basically maximize this amazing system that we have, right? And one thing that I found is that on the previous site, we had the ability to click on a section that said, promote. And in that section, we were able to read off some information that gave us further details as to what the live was going to be about. But in this one right here, we don't have that ability, but it still lets us know a good little tidbit of what's to come. It's not as extensive as the other one was, right? Maybe depending on what training it is, it might give a little bit more detail. But for what we have coming up today, depending on when you're watching this, today is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. So today at 3 p.m. EST time, we will be learning the blueprint training. We took our next big leap. Now, what's yours? So the big leap was the latest update that we've gone through within the last week. This Thursday will make 1 week since the relaunch of this amazing opportunity where the website and just about everything else has gotten an upgrade. So whether you're a MegaLink customer, you've gotten a major upgrade. Whether you're what we call a mega builder or a team builder, you got a mega upgrade. And whether you're a VIP like I am, we've gotten a major upgrade. And one of the additional upgrades that we have is right here in this section right here. If you look at this button, in the old site, when we would hit that promote button to get the additional information, right? So it would take us to the little blurb section that would tell us a little bit more in depth. But it's right here. It's right here in front of us. We don't have to hit the promote button in order to get the extra information. So it says right here, OLSP just took its next big leap. On Tuesday, Wayne reveals what's changed and shows you how to make your leap by stepping into VIP. Real students, real results, real support, application only, limited spaces. And I'm definitely familiar with that. So real students, real results, real support, and becoming a VIP is only by application. You can't just upgrade to be a VIP within the system. You have to go through a process. You have to apply. You have to qualify in order to be a VIP. And that's a great thing because when you're doing a real business, you have to know that you're dealing with real people that are committed to doing what's necessary in order to build a real business. Now, if you were to partner with someone in the, real world, so to speak, and you wanted to do business with that person, you would do everything possible beforehand, before committing to doing business with them, to find out if that person is the right person to partner with. A lot of times people would go as far as doing a background check, finding out if this person has any type of criminal history, finding out, who has this person worked for before, what was the feedback given from previous employers, various things like that. You might even want to talk to a couple of their friends or family members. Hey, what type of person were they growing up? Just so that you know that they are the right person to partner with. And the same thing should apply in the online world. When you decide to make a major leap and do real business and create something that's built for longevity, you want to make sure that the person that you're doing that business with is also built for that journey, and that they're not just going to be someone that, sits back, never takes action, or looks at you and say, hey, are you going to do this, that, and the third for me? And, if you don't, then they're not willing to participate or help or do anything at all. In this amazing opportunity, we get to evaluate and we get to learn how to actually find the right people to do business with. Now, you have to remember, this is a business. This is not one of those get rich quick schemes. This is not one of those things where you just share a link and hope for the best and just want people to just, purchase whatever it is that you're promoting, and then you just move on. This is a relationship business. And as you can see over here on the side, the second item on the list after all the events, right? The second item says community. That's right there above me. That's one of the most important aspects of the business is the community. And community is a strong word. You live in a community. You're surrounded by various communities, and each community has its own standards. You might go to one part of town, and in that community, they do things a certain way. In another town, another community, the traditions might be a little bit different. Some communities are better than others. And you find that, the people that are allowed in certain communities, they have certain standards. They live by certain codes. They do certain things. And in other communities, the same thing wouldn't apply. There's different standards. There's different code of ethics. So just like in the real world, once again, the online world has similar qualities, and values that you have to adhere to. Now, running a successful online business isn't that complicated once when you start to understand that it's just life principles. It's everyday things that you need to do and that you're possibly currently doing in your real world life experiences, and you're taking them and you're applying them to your online life. Now, one of the biggest challenges that you're going to face is being able to translate that information to a person online that you come across, and they might see the online world as a whole different world. They might see the online world as a place where they can become a different character. They might become a different person altogether. They might feel as though they can, the first thing that pops into my mind is the game Grand Theft Auto. That's a very, very popular game. And it's one of the most realistic games there is. In that game, you get to do just about anything that you could do in the real world. But the thing about it is, most people in the real world are sane. They try to live life, above board. They try to be legal. They try to do everything possible to avoid trouble. But online or in the game world, when they turn on that Grand Theft Auto, they decide to be anything other than what they are. They start to go and rob stores on the game. They go up and down the street and they, you know, start committing crimes, various things that they do within the game, right? They start becoming a menace, something that they would never do in real life, and something that would possibly get them life. Life without the possibility of ever getting out if they were to do the same thing in the real world. But that's how it is. People get online and they become a different person, and they think that different rules apply, but it doesn't. Now, that example with the game, might have been a little stretch because it's a game, right? And the point is to be able to be free and do all of those type of things without having to risk real life consequences. But we understand that that's a game. But what you need to understand is your online business is not a game, is not the same as that video game. You might want to look at it as, hey, this is going to be something that's fun and exciting, and I get to, just share a link, and, unlike in the real world, have you ever just walked up to someone in the real world and said, here's a link, here's this, here's that, just go purchase that, go buy that? Somebody might look at you like you're crazy. Back in the day, business cards used to be even a lot more popular. Even then, you have to communicate with people. You have to talk to them first. You have to engage. You have to, share a little bit of information first before you're able to pass on that business card. Online, it's the same thing. You can't just start dropping, links in people's mailbox. You can't be like, the paper boy in real life, riding down the street with your cards, with your information and your flyers, and you're just throwing them you're riding on your bike or you're driving in your car and you're throwing your information on people's yard and expect them to, grab it up like it's the daily newspaper and start to engage and start to, hey, this is like a nice item for me to purchase in this paper that I've never seen, or this card that I've never heard of before, and now I'm going to make a purchase. Real world rules apply to online. The sooner you understand that, And the sooner you're able to learn how to convey that message to your ideal client and the person that you want to do business with, the easier the business becomes, because they'll understand how business really works, how money moves, how leverage is built. And they'll say, hey, that makes absolute sense. That makes absolute sense. So yeah, I'm willing to partner with you. Let's get this done. Let's build this in a way that we can both be successful and profitable. And they'll tell you, hey, I understand completely and I'm willing to do what's necessary. But let's go back to this button. So I mentioned this button, the materials button, right? And I went down a little rabbit hole, but hopefully that rabbit hole has given you some light bulb moments, right? Because it was very valuable, only to the right person. But this materials button, it doesn't have this information right here in it, like how it had on the old site. But it does have something that's even better. It has an upgraded feature. And I'm going to click on it right now. So when I click on this button, I get access to our amazing AI powered marketing content. Now, for anyone that's interested in building an online business, but you don't know what to post, you don't, you might say, hey, I've been on social media for a long time, but I've never used it for business purposes. I might have only posted, my daily, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever. Or, I've probably just scrolled and looked at somebody's post and, put a laughing emoji or whatever. But I've never really posted anything of value. This right here is going to help you do that. So if you look at the top, it says marketing materials, blueprint training. We took our next big leap. What's yours? So that's the title of today's live. Now, the AI powered marketing content, it knows a little information on what today's live is going to be about. And it will allow you to create content for emails, Facebook posts, Instagram caption, LinkedIn post, Twitter threads, YouTube description, TikTok script, blog introduction, SMS messages, and WhatsApp messages. So if these are the sources that you're, attracting traffic with, this tool will help you generate content for it. Now, since we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, why not create a Facebook post, right? So let me click on the Facebook post. And the great thing about this system is that it's not generic. There's a section within the system here that will allow you to put in your own personal details, a little bit about you, your tone of voice, how you like to represent yourself, the words that you like to use, the words that you prefer not to use. And it will understand what it is that, is true to you. And once when you're ready to generate, all you have to do is click the button to generate a personalized Facebook post for this webinar. And then you're all set. So right now, I'm just going to do that. 2 simple clicks, right? We clicked on what platform we want to make our content for. And then we want to click on the generate post option. Now, this right here, it gives you a short post, which right here says the character limit is 500. And it's pretty straight to the point. So it says here, ever feel stuck watching others leap ahead in affiliate marketing? In the Hustleverse, we turn that into action. Wayne Crow's dropping the blueprint on OLSP's massive evolution, real leaps like Albert's 17K in 7 weeks, discover VIP access, buyer fast tracks, and direct coaching for your first commissions. Beginner friendly, no overwhelm. Gives today's date, and it tells you to comment hustle to get the link and join the Hustleverse Leap. So that's in my personal tone, right? So it recognizes that we are in the Hustleverse, and all I have to do is take this, either start from the top and drag here and right click copy, or press this button right here, copy the clipboard, and then paste it into my Facebook, you know, post, whatever it is that I want to post. Now, of course, I always advise people to do a little extra, do a little bit more. So let's just copy this to clipboard, and then let's go over to the most valuable document in all of online marketing, right? And let's scroll down to one of our exclusive tools that you get access to, you know, access to my personal GPT. And let's ask it to, create something a little bit more detailed for us, right? Okay, I'm just going to say there is a live training today, and I want to create 3 Facebook posts that promote it. Make sure the hooks are strong, right from the beginning, and use this as an example for inspiration. Also, and make sure you use EST time zone instead of UK time zone. And let's see. Paste it in. And let's hit go. Now, this is going to give us back some details. And I put some specific things in it because through experience, you'll learn what it is that you should add and that you should be asking for. You never know what to ask for until you've actually been in a situation where, you've gotten the wrong thing back. And then you had to go back again and you had to ask the GPT or whatever it is to, rewrite that. So we want to eliminate as much of the back and forth as possible, right? And that's what a good coach and mentor does. That's part of what makes becoming a VIP so valuable. See, you can start your own business by yourself. You can do your own thing. You can, start today and, go out, purchase a whole bunch of supplies and spend a lot of money, and then nothing can happen. You can still be unsuccessful because in your mind, you thought that things had to go a certain way. Like, hey, it was just, hey, copy and paste, and that's all it was to it. But once when you get a competent mentor and coach that's been down the road, they can tell you before you spent or invested all of that money that, hey, you don't need to buy that most expensive product. You don't need to do that. You can start off with this, then build your way up. You can start off at a quarter of the investment or a tenth of the investment. Instead of spending all of these hours doing this, that, and the third, you can just spend this amount of time doing these specific things. They can save you time, energy, and money, right? Now, this right here gives me 3 posts. And since I asked for it to give me 3 strong hooks, right? It tells me right here, post 1, pain to possibility angle. How is it that you want to speak to your audience? You want to identify the pain, and then you want to let them know the possibility of what could happen, right? So this one, for example, says, ever feel like you're doing everything right in affiliate marketing, but still not getting paid? Meanwhile, others are quietly stacking commissions behind the scenes. Tonight changes that. Wayne Crow is going live, breaking down the exact system, helping beginners get commissions fast without needing a big audience, tech skills, or paid ads. We're talking simple 3-click system, done for you setup, real results, people earning daily. Tuesday, March 24th, 3 p.m. EST, right? And that's the time of our event. Spots are limited. Comment hustle, and I'll send you the link. Now, the one additional thing that I would make an adjustment on, some people do it, some people don't. It depends on you. It's all about building authority. Who is your audience? What do they know you for? Are you an authority within your particular space? Are you an authority on your social media page? Well, you should be. People come to see you, right? So you're the authority. So if no one knows who Mr. Wayne Crow is, they might say, hey, I don't know who that is. So why should I show up? Who is he? So you might want to make an adjustment and say, we are going live, instead of actually mentioning Mr. Wayne Crow. We are going live doesn't necessarily mean that you are hosting the live yourself, but just that we are. Who's we? Well, my business partner and we're going live. It just so happens that I won't be on camera. I won't be talking. I'm going to be somewhere in the background, you know, listening to the information along with you. And we're all going to learn the necessary skills in order to become successful. And then, you know, take this post, copy it, paste it into my social media, and that right there is my post if I want to leave it at just text. Now, if I want to also take it a step farther, can take it a step farther by using one of my favorite tools, right? And I'll say, hey, I'm going to tell the chat GPT, I'm going to use post number 1. Write 3 picture 3 engaging clickbait style uh, picture prompts to grab the attention of the reader and make them want to stop scrolling. And however else that you want to word it, right? You can give suggestions as to what type of picture, what do you want, what type of elements you want in the picture, right? So you want to grab their attention. It knows that the AI will come up with whatever it expects or whatever it thinks um, might grab someone's attention, but you can be as detailed as you want. Uh, Make them stop scrolling, for example, and extreme view of a person plummeting from a skyscraper and face planting on the pavement. That's kind of extreme, right? But that might stop the scroll, right? But at least you've given the AI an example. So now that we have the text, we want to have a picture. We know that the AI is going to help us. So prompt number one, it's taking notice. It's saying, hey, failure to pain visual. A stressed person sitting at a laptop surrounded by crumbled papers and bills, screen glowing with $0 earned, dark room, intense shadows, emotional frustration, cinematic lighting, ultra realistic. Why it works? It hits the pain point instantly. People see themselves in it. So that's one example. Prompt two, success contrast slash shock value. Split image. Left side shows a tired, broke person staring at an empty bank account. Right side shows the same person, shocked and excited, looking at $1,247 earned today on their laptop. Bright versus dark contrast, dramatic lighting, high emotion. Why it works? It creates curiosity and transformation in one glance. Prompt number three, extreme scroll stopper. A person hanging off the edge of a skyscraper by one hand while holding a phone in the other, showing new commission earned. City far below, intense perspective, dramatic, high tension, cinematic realism. Why it works? This is your pattern interrupt. Danger plus money equal instant attention. And then it gives you extra uh little details. Hustler tip. Pair these with your caption and you'll trigger pain recognition, curiosity, urgency. That's the holy trinity of clicks. So you got expert information right here. And me personally, I'll take this prompt right here. It's short. We can do one or two things. And just to keep it simple, we're just going to do one option. I'm just going to copy this prompt, leave it as it is, right? The second option would be any of these prompts. Ask the GPT to fully explain and lay out these prompts in complete detail so that we know the exact details that we want to use. And then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go over to my favorite AI tool and I'm going to refresh the page because I always have it up, right? And I'm going to pick whatever section I want to go into in order to create this visual. But I'm going to go right here into AI Art Illustrator, right? I'm going to go into this section because I didn't ask the AI to be extremely specific, right? I didn't say what style, if I wanted it to be 2D flat, 8-bit pixel style, AAA game style. I didn't say what particular style. I didn't specify. I didn't have it lay it out. So I want to make sure that I create as much of a vibe that I want for this particular picture so that it comes as close as possible to what I want it to look like. So we want it to be a dramatic, realistic type of look. And one of my favorite styles is mystic fantasy. That one looks pretty realistic. And along with, I guess you would say, the AAA game style one, that's pretty realistic also. I also like the creepy vintage. It's a little black and white style, and that's pretty good. Of course, we always have the Pixar style, which is one of the most popular. I've tried before soft woolen fiber style. That one right there is kind of realistic. It's a blend of realism and kind of like a, fiber style, I would say, or I would think like a cuddly, like a teddy bear ish. It make me think of like a teddy bear or, something type of style like that, right? But I guess it explains the style the best way and what it's known for, right? But should I go with Mystic Fantasy this time? Let me see. Let me see. How about this pixel art illustration? I haven't heard my cat running around in a while. He's probably, chilling. He's probably sitting on the bed watching TV. So, since that just caught my attention, I'm going to use that particular style. And then I get to pick the dimensions. Now, my favorite tool here, it allows so many dimensions that it will produce this in. Now, I personally like to use two styles here, two basic dimensions. And it's for the purpose of if I want to create a video out of them, then my other favorite tool, which is Video Express, it will transfer. I'll be able to, export the pictures over to that, but it'll only export 16 by 9 and 9 by 16. So YouTube size videos, regular dimension, or Reels type of dimensions, right? So which one do we want to go with? I think if it's somebody hanging off a cliff or something, we might want like a long kind of angle and see how what it comes up with, right? Now, so I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna do the real style. And then I'm gonna pick how many quantity. I want 4 pictures. Because the first time it might not come out the best. We might not get a perfect representation. Um, Another thing here, it just says a person hanging. So there's no detail here as to what the person looks like, this, that, the third. Um, and we might get anything. So the one thing I might just change is this. I'm a black man, so I put a black man hanging off the edge of a skyscraper by one hand. And so at least the AI knows for perspective some sense of who we are dealing with. Now, if you want to know what I would do to go even farther, then I want you guys to comment create, and I will share with you my exclusive magnetic content creation training absolutely for free so that you can go a little bit more in depth and see how to really use this amazing tool here to your benefit. It's an intro style training that gives you a lot of value. And, you'll see exactly what I would possibly do in order to create the best and, the scene that comes closest to what I want. So we're just going to hit the generate button. And as you can see, it starts going to work. And you can see I use this tool a lot, in the possibilities, the options of what it can do is on point. It can generate pictures with the best of them. One of the best parts about it is I use it to create my storyboards for my music videos. And it makes me think about the other day I saw a post where somebody was complaining, like when people complain about something, it only attracts other people to also do the same. You'll always find somebody that will be willing to agree with you to complain about something. And in the post, in the comment section, somebody wrote that when it comes to the other tool, Video Express, they said that they didn't like Video Express because it never produces anything usable. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's crazy. Like, It's obvious that you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know how to use the tools. That's the problem. The problem isn't, the tool itself. The problem is that you don't have any idea of how to use the tool. And that's a you problem. It's not the tool's problem. So as you can see, I refreshed and we have a couple of different versions. And we can choose which one we want to use. So a couple of different angles. That's the back to the guy. He's holding up the phone. Back. He's holding up the phone. Everybody's holding up the phone. This is more of a front facing. This is a front facing. Um, with this one right here, okay, I just noticed he does have his hand on the ledge right there. He's already fallen off the building and it looks like he's trying to grab onto the ledge right there in order to stop himself from falling even farther. So we can use this, or we can use this one. It looked like he's more of a Spider-Man type thing. He must have been climbing the building or something. And you know, he don't look like he's falling. It looked like he's stuck right there. He's about to do some things. He's got a grip somewhat. So you pick which one you want. And me, myself, let me use this one. And I press the button 2 times. So it's going to download that picture twice, right? So now I got my picture. Now looking at the style of it, of course, it used the style that I identified. Now, if I wanted to use more of a realistic style, I would have clicked on one of the other options. If I wanted it more detailed with different visuals, then I would have made it a lot more detailed as to, all the other elements. But now that we have the picture and we know what the AI envisioned, then we can start becoming more experts, more of a real content creator, and looking and saying, hey, we're high up. We want the man is in a suit. So obviously it looks at the person as being a professional. We might want to adjust the prompt and say, hey, he's wearing this, that, and the third, just for the purpose of making it out to look the way we want, right? But all in all, we have our uh, text, we have our post picture, and what we gonna do is we gonna just use it. We're gonna use what we have. We're gonna go right here, we're gonna copy the text, and this is how easy it is. We're gonna copy the text, we're gonna go to our page, and I know we all want to be perfect and stuff like that. People really think that it takes something perfect in order to make a splash, but things don't always go perfectly, and things that you think are perfect don't always be the thing that is the hit that actually works for you and your audience. Sometimes it's the things that's least expected that actually moves the needle for you and your business. So right now I'm just finding the picture itself, and I'm going to just drag the picture on over. Now this picture doesn't have a lot of text on it or anything. It's just the phone itself. Now if we wanted to, we could regenerate this picture. If we say, hey, we don't know what the text says in the phone, well, okay, we know there's text in the phone, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Matter of fact, we want people to stop scrolling. So if it was easily visible and people were scrolling and they easily saw what it said, they might just, okay, that says MLM earning or whatever, and they might just keep scrolling. But if it looks like, oh, what does that say? And they're trying to make it out, then they might just slow down a little bit and see what it says, see if they can zoom in or whatever. So anything could be used to your advantage. And I'm just going to change this right here and say we are going live, breaking down. All right. So that's it. Hit that next. Hit that post. And now we have something for our social media. And how many times can we do that? Well, we can do it as many times as we want. It's only 10:02 a.m. EST time. So that means I have 5 hours in order, well, before the event starts. Well, I created 3, text prompts. Well, 3 picture prompts and 3 text prompts that I can copy and paste. So in 2 hours, hey, do the next one. And let's say 30 minutes or an hour before the live, do the last one. And there you go. So with that, the one other thing that I want to show you guys before I close out is something that I was working on yesterday. And just to show you like the range of what's possible, I was thinking about like how so many people get caught up in content creation and their fears of being on camera. A lot of people fear it. A lot of people want to be faceless. A lot of people just, they want to do as little work as possible. Now, within our amazing system, I just showed you that a lot of the work is done. If you don't want to write something, you can easily have something written for you. You don't really have to strain too much when it comes to that. But I wanted to create something a little bit more creative and something different, something that I know or I haven't seen anybody else create. I wanted to give you a different perspective of what content could be like and what you can actually create and turn into your own business, where you can focus on, not just going faceless, but how about doing something completely different? And let me pull up this video for you guys. And then after that, we're going to close out. You ever notice how people hear faceless content and instantly think they gotta disappear? No face, no presence, no identity. But look at this whole video, and all you see is the hands, and somehow it still pulls you in. Now think about that. You don't need to show your face to build something real. You can be the hands preparing the product, the hands telling the story, the hands people recognize before they ever know your name. And here's the part nobody talks about. You don't even have to use your hands. You can create scenes, characters, visual stories. That's when it stops being faceless content and starts becoming creative direction. Most people are stuck asking, how do I show up? The better question is, how many ways can I create without limits? If that just shifted something for you, welcome to the Hustleverse, where creativity clocks in and excuses clock out. Comment hustle if you're ready to step in. All right, family. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That burger looked pretty good, right? That burger looked pretty good. A triple decker type joint. That looks pretty good. Generated that using, favorite AI tools. Made the video using my favorite AI tools. The thing that the person said, I couldn't generate anything usable. Well, obviously it's because you didn't know what you was doing. You didn't know how to generate or write a proper prompt for a juicy triple cheeseburger. Look at that. Lettuce, tomato, sesame seed bun. Look at that. You telling me you couldn't create any type of visuals with this that work? That's crazy. That's, to me, is crazy. Once again, it's a you problem, not a tool problem. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. Once again, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in tomorrow's live, and I hope you will join us later on today at 3 p.m. EST time for our exclusive live, so that you can learn how to take simple skills and, fun and exciting things that we have to offer, take them to the next level and create a fun and profitable business. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let's close out like we always do. See you in the next video.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first, but in silence even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged and they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I ride, I'm freeing the ones with the pain they hide. 10 minutes ain't much, but it changed my name. Turned struggle into strength and broke the game.